What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay Renee, and I am back to talk about Sistas Season 5, Episode 21, called A Vicious Cycle. Can I tell you something? It, let's just get into it. Let's just get into it, shall we?
Can't ball in a life, man. Go on with it, go on with it. Do us. So we are coming in with a force. Yeah. Blessing the reap and we coursing on.
I feel like it's been a minute since I've gone live with y'all. So I'm like, let me get back to going live. And I know it's late, but we just got to talk about this here. Tyler Perry. You are an amazing person. You do great things to get new actors and actresses on your shows, to give them a chance. Give the writers a chance. Just give it up, because this is a job that you have been holding on to for dear life. And you're effing it up. You're effing it up. This show, you have single-handedly effed up, okay? But we're going to talk about it because that's just what we're here to do, okay? So, y'all, the episode starts off with this cockamamie BS story of Zach. He's at the door. There's somebody. Apparently, this man's name is Joey. And he is Fatima's baby daddy, child. They got a 9-year-old child. They live in D.C., honey. And the kid is asking about his mama, okay? And he's just like, he keeps on asking questions about her. I do have her number. But I just want to kind of, talk to her so I can just kind of see. What do you want to see, sir? And why does everybody know where Zach lives? Why didn't he go to Fatima's apartment that nobody lives in? Okay. Her stuff is still in there. So why would he automatically come to Zach's house? And how much of in contact is he with Fatima? Does he have the right Fatima? Let me say this here. Why are we introducing this stupidity? There are so many other things that we could be solving and moving past, where we keep on introducing new stories when we haven't fixed the other stuff. We haven't solved it. Karen still don't have a baby bump. We don't understand why we are paying child support for kids that we don't even know that are ours. Zach, okay? You having meetings with Heather and Karen, and you having people sign contracts saying you gonna give them all this child support money, and you don't even know if these kids are really yours. Now, granted, you did get a blood test with the kid that Heather said is supposedly yours, but Karen's kid ain't even born yet. And you talking about paying child support. Then we talking about Karen signing some papers that she already signed. It's a bunch of malarkey and foolishness. Like, we still haven't figured out why we're still talking about Q. But moving on, let's just get out of this. So, and mind you, Tyler Perry must have forgot that he wrote that Fatima is from Philadelphia, not DC. So why was she in DC all of a sudden getting pregnant 9 years ago? This too much. It don't make no sense. It's a very unneeded introduction to the story. It's like Tyler Perry is consistently trying to make Fatima look like a deadbeat. Like, she's this responsible, making Zach very level-headed woman any other time, but now she's a deadbeat mama. And they even said in the previews for next week, she said something about the little bastard gets on my nerves or something like that. And I'm like, is she really talking about her child? Tyler Perry, this has got to be the dumbest. Let's moving on. Just moving on. Preston goes to the airport. Preston is talking to Danny, and I don't know why Preston keeps on wanting to bring up Mindy. Danny was like, so he says, yeah, I'm not leaving actually. I'm not here because I'm leaving. Because Danny was like, oh, you here to see me? Like, she's so pressed, like he is just running after her or something, which he is. But girl, you are pushing a man away that really cares about you, is obviously running after you because he cares about you, to be talking to the likes of Q and a stripper and the mall cop from the airport that you barely even know, and some man that you met at the airport that beat you up and did all these strange things for no change because you're broke. I don't understand. I don't understand, Danny. It's given ridiculous. So she's like, so what are you doing here? You just trying to come see me or whatever? He was like, I mean, well, I'm glad to see you, but I'm not here to see you. Like, and I'm not leaving to go anywhere. Mindy is coming here. She was like, she coming here. Like, did you tell her to come to this gate? First of all, Danny, if you didn't know, you can't actually pick your gate that you want to land in. And you've been working at the airport long enough to know that. Mindy couldn't pick which gate she wants to land in. Okay? Don't be a dummy. So he's like, do you want to meet her? Do you want to meet her? She's like, no, I don't want to meet her. First of all, this scene took entirely too long. So moving on. Danny don't want to meet Mindy. Okay, whatever. He's like, yeah, because she says she wants to come and see me. Okay, clearly she loves you, and you're so amazing, Preston. This woman loves you so much. Okay, moving on. So Q walks up, and he's like, Preston's like, oh, another one. I'm like, well, Preston, if you notice that her sheet is out here busting it wide open and spreading it wide for all these men, why are you so pressed over her? Preston just needs to leave Danny alone because Danny is dumb, and she is dumb as a box of rocks. She is not the sharpest knife in the drawer. She's an idiot. He don't deserve whatever Danny is trying to give off. He don't deserve it. He need to just let Danny move on with her life. Leave her alone. Go on and ride off into the sunset with Mindy. That's what you need to do. You know what? Let me see Mindy first. I need to make sure Mindy is cute. Okay, but moving on. So Q comes over and he's acting like everything cool. Like, they did just have sex the night before, right? Like, everything cool, right? She's like, you got my friends locked up. Like, are you kidding me? I told you don't ever talk to me again. And he's looking at her like, so what? Like, you don't want to do it again? Like, what? I'm like, this whole thing with Q, I don't want no more of it. I don't want no more of it. It is stupid. It is very dumb. Moving on. Okay. Danny tells him don't ever talk to her again. Danny, you're an idiot. Moving on. So Gary and Hayden are talking in the hallway, and they're like, I wouldn't underestimate him. He might get the money. You think he gonna get the money? Talking about Robin. So then Heather comes in, which is the dingleberry brain that Hayden then took on the case because he got such a hard on for Zach. He want to get Zach back so bad that he's representing this girl for this child support situation. So he shoos Gary off, and he's going to go and talk to Heather. So he's like, basically, how are you going to pay me? And she was like, well, I'm not sucking your D. I'm like, you know what? I can't do no more. I can't do no more. It was at this point that I was watching the show that I was contemplating my life's choices of actually watching the show. But anyway, moving on. They go in the office, and Heather and Hayden are talking about Zach's money, and he's just basically hyping her up about how he can get half. Zach, she was like, "Oh, he do live in a nice house though," or whatever. She's so ghetto, and he was like, "Yeah, you deserve a nice house too." And I'm like, none of this in her conversation with Hayden is talking about her son getting to know his father, or her son having a healthy life or lifestyle with both of his parents. She's so busy talking about getting somebody's money. Girl, if you don't spin around the pole and stop playing around, because all you care about is some damn money. Get a real job. Get some education. Do something with yourself. Show your son that you're not just some dumb hoe trying to get money from people. This just don't make any sense. So anyway, they are the scene ends with them pretty much getting ready to go in the office to talk about how they gonna get Zach's money from him. So Fatima calls the decoy because she sees him, Hayden and Heather sitting down talking in the conference room. So she calls Tamara and says, "Listen, they're talking right now. I need you to come up here and basically break all this up, break up the sunshine, and let him know that he need to go on and get rid of sis." So Tamara was like, I got you. I'm coming up there. I'm coming up there." So Zach, in the next scene, Zach calls Fatima and tells her he's coming to the job. Cause he's like, yeah, cause he calls her on the other line after she finished talking to Tamara, and he's like, yeah, I'm coming up there. She's like, what's your problem? Everything okay? You good? He was like, oh yeah, I'm good. I'm coming up there because we need to have a talk. She's like, well, what's going on? He's like, no, I'm coming up there. All dramatic, whatever. Moving on. Next scene. Sabrina and Calvin are waiting for Maurice, and Calvin is basically sitting over there asking her all these questions about the African, like why him and not me? Why this? Why that? Oh my God, what is he doing that's so great? Why don't you want to be with me? This whole scene was too damn long too. This is too much, too much. Get it out. Say it. Say what you gotta say and move the hell on. So basically, Sabrina is like, Calvin is like, why, well, do I even have a chance? Like, do you like him? She's like, yeah, I do like him or whatever. And Calvin's like, how he get all this money anyway? And she was like, well, he's a prince. He was like, oh, I know you in line. Well, he's some type of coming to America and like Eddie Murphy. And she was like, I mean, he is the prince of a small nation. And so he got it like that or whatever. You just jealous and you hate it. So Calvin is pretty much hating. He's pretty much like, oh my gosh, well, I can't provide all that he's trying to give you. So, like, I guess I lost my chance. So while he over here licking his wounds, playing woe is me, Maurice comes out. So Maurice is like, oh, I'm ready to get in the bathtub and, making jokes about all of this stuff, talking about how he had to fight the men's off of him and all this. And Sabrina and Calvin are happy to see him and trying to hug him. And he's like, where's my African prince, the one that saved me? And they're like, you're not happy to see us or whatever. So he's still joking around, and both of them are like, why do you always constantly do this? Why are you always joking? And this is very serious. Like, you were in jail. And it's basically like, I got to laugh to keep from crying, child. Who taking me home? Like, get me the hell up out of here. So they end up leaving the jail. So then, in the next scene, Heather and Hayden are talking, and he's basically giving her the game plan on what to do with Zach. He's like, listen, we all gonna meet up. You gonna meet up with him. Tell him you'll meet him, and I'm gonna show up, and we gonna just lay it down on him. We gonna get all that money. And she like, okay, all right, cool. I'm gonna go call him. So as soon as she going out to call him, in comes Tamara, and she's like, you got to get rid of her. He's like, what? That ain't nothing going on with her. She just a client. She was like, because my ex, he used to be messing with girls at work or whatever. And you know what? Oh my God, I'm just so jealous. I barely even know you. Why am I acting like this towards you? You know what? I'm just being crazy. Let me get out of here. Like, oh my God, I can't believe you don't got to fire her. You don't got to get rid of your client. I'm so sorry. He's like, no. I'll get rid of her. You really want me to get rid of her? Cool. I'll get rid of her. So she was like, really? You're going to do that? You don't even know me like that. Oh my God. Like, for real? And he was like, yeah, I'm going to get rid of her. So Heather comes back in and she's like, okay, so I just talked to him. And he's like, yeah, about that, I'm not even going to be able to work on your case no more. She was like, you corny bastard. Like, you're not going to work on my case. Ugh. And so Tamara is like, get out of here. And so she was like, you know what? That's real messed up. And she was like, oh, you a goofy too. You dumb too, huh? Oh, okay, whatever. And she was like, you know what? I'm out of here. So she leaves out. Heather leaves out the office. I'm like, what type of cockamamie BS is this? So then Tamara was like, well, can I see you later? And she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm acting. It's the way you put it on me. It ain't no way he put it on you, girl. And Hayden, whoever you are in real life, you had a little yellow on your teeth right here. That just means you not going back far enough and brushing your teeth. Yeah, actor, I need you to, you might need to go ahead and take care of that because that's very noticeable on the side there. But that's just a side note, okay? Moving on. So he fires Heather. Heather pissed. She rolls out. Tamara gonna see him later tonight so he can put it on her again, child. Whatever, okay? Moving on. So she leaves out. Fatima walks past Tamara as she's walking out. And Fatima is smiling because she's like, all right, my little plan done worked. So Karen calls Andy, and then Andy ends up getting a call from Sabrina. So they three-way her in, and Sabrina is basically filling them in on what happened at Andy Danny's house, where Q was there, and she was like, "We all just need to meet up at Danny's house. We need to talk to her because this is just ridiculous." And Karen was like, "Yeah, just like college. I can't believe it. I wish that." When they keep saying that they are doing something just like college, like they could do like a flashback, and or we could see like a background on what happened in college, because y'all keep on saying like college and we're not seeing anything. It's not like the show started with them in college. Like, I just feel like it's irrelevant to keep saying like in college and we don't have any context. It's ridiculous. So Karen is like, well, I'm about to have lunch, but yeah, I'll see y'all later. I'll be there. So Karen, in the next scene, um in the next scene, no, we not back to her and Aaron yet. Heather goes into Fatima's office in the next scene, and she's pissed that Hayden basically dropped her as a client. And she was like, y'all are over here playing games. Why he dropped me? Like, he just said he not gonna represent me and all this, that, and the third, and y'all are trying to play me. And so Fatima was like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't have nothing to do with that or whatever. You need to talk to Zach. She was like, well, I'm going to get his money and blah, blah, blah. She's like, girl, this will be held up in court so long. Zach has money, but you won't get none of it because he'll just keep it in court. You ain't got enough money to pay a lawyer to keep on playing Ring Around the Rosie. And so she's like, fine. Well, what should I do? What do you think I should do? She said, just call Zach. Talk to him. He's fair or whatever. Just talk to him. She was like, you know what? Matter of fact, I'll text you the location. Just be there later. And she's like, you sure? I'm like, girl, Heather is dumb. Like, plum fool idiot. You basically are showing that you're just doing this for money. You're not doing this for your child's well-being whatsoever. So she agrees to meet them wherever the hell Fatima gonna text her little empty head ass to meet them. Moving on. So Gary comes in to the office, and the receptionist leads him back to Andy's office and lets her know that he's there. He's basically like, oh, I want to take you out to dinner. And then all up on her, trying to smooch and hug up on her. And he looking out the window at the same time, trying to see if Robin is in there. She's like, what are you doing? Are you looking for Robin? Child, he ain't even here. You doing all this yin yang and he not even up in here. Like, what's your problem? And she was like, oh, and don't think you're slick. You keep dipping back into your old ways. Did you tell Robin I had anything to do with your little childish, foolish stuff that you're doing? And he was like, no, where do you hear that from? No, no, no. She's like, listen, you slipping back into your old ways now. I'm not trying to be playing these little games with you. Like, all these little childish games, you need to go on and stop. Put a halt to it. Don't put my name in it. We've been in a good place lately, but you are on thin ice already, so don't play with me. Girl, he ain't on no damn thin ice. Only thing he is doing is making your walls thinner and thinner because of all the rump sessions y'all keep having every night. You so worried about his dick being inside you. You can't even use your brain. I'm like, Andy, just knock it. You are stupid, and cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, okay? You ain't never gonna make this man respect you. And he's like, well, at least I'm gonna take you to dinner night. And she's like, oh, I'll think about it. No, you're not gonna think about it. And you should have said no. As soon as he was doing all of that stuff, like apparently as if he was trying to make Robin jealous, the writing is on the wall. You already know why he's doing this stuff. This man is so controlling, it reeks. And you just as dumb as child. Moving on, Andy. I'm sick of Andy and Gary. I really am. Like, that has to end. Something got to give. Sabrina, Maurice, and Calvin are in the next scene. They go to the apartment. And Maurice finally sees that all of his stuff is gone. So he immediately starts blaming Calvin, saying, oh my God, what you do? Twirl on the floor? You twirl on the floor? You let him steal my stuff? You are just basically, calling Calvin a bee, like saying he don't have no backbone and he just sat up there and let Q steal all his stuff. So Calvin is upset. He's like, because he knows what happened, how he tried to protect the household. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to just let you calm down. I'm going to go ahead and take a walk. So as he leaves out, Sabrina reveals to Maurice, she was like, you are dead freaking wrong. She was like, you got to stop talking to people like this. And first of all, Calvin had your back the whole time. He literally beat Q to a pulp with a golf club, and I had to stop him because he was about to kill him. And Maurice was like, "For real? He was really about to do that?" He was like, she was like, yeah. And everybody has been out here trying to do whatever it takes to get you out. And you are really the reason why all of this is happening. This is your fault. And Calvin said that when he was leaving, he was like, first of all, I know you're not sitting up here blaming me. You don't want to let him in here. But Calvin, you don't want to let him stay. So it's just like kind of like it's like both of you guys' fault, like for real. But hey. What are you gonna do? So Sabrina tells Maurice that he needs to apologize to Calvin. So in the next scene, Karen and Aaron are at the salon having lunch. Okay. And she's like, you know what? Thank you. Thank you so much for being you. You are just so amazing. Like you, oh my God. Like, oh, I'm just realizing how amazing you are. So then here come Pam coming in. Oh yeah, there's somebody named Jennifer out here to see you. And she's like, Jennifer? She's like, oh no, she here to see Aaron. So Aaron is like, for me. So he goes out there. Now, good and got there going well who Jennifer is. So he goes out there and she's calling him, this girl, Jennifer, he pulls her outside to talk. She calling him Tony. He's like, don't call me that. And she's like, you did it. She was like, oh my gosh, you did it again. You're doing it. Basically just like going crazy on him, hitting him and doing all this stuff, but basically alluding to him doing something to her. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then Pam is on the inside telling Karen a play-by-play, like, girl, they out there. She is hitting him. Like, it looks real intense. They just out here arguing, girl. And Karen is basically doing a bump and curl for fake. And she's ignoring the whole situation. She's like, I'm not getting involved. You was just inside here telling this man how great of a man he is and all these amazing things. You could at least go out there and see what's the goings on. So she was like, damn it, let me go out here and see what's going on. So Karen goes outside and they're still tussling back and forth. I don't know what's going on with this. So I guess we'll see something next episode. I'm pretty sure it ain't gonna solve shit, but we gonna see something. So in the last scene, Zach comes to Fatima's office and he's waiting for her. The receptionist tells Fatima that he's there. So as the receptionist is in her office, she's like, oh yeah, thank you, I'll go see him. Because the receptionist is like, Zach is in the break room. She's like, oh yeah, well, while I have you, that application from that girl earlier, what you do with it? She was like, oh, I gave it to HR already. And Fatima was like, yeah. Can you go back and get that and bring it to me? She's like, oh, sure. Here's my thing. That is all types of violations. Why would you go and get somebody's resume and go and bring it to Fatima? Moving on. So Fatima goes into the break area and Zach is like, have you told me everything about you? Like, you literally told me everything. She's like, yeah. She was like, but where my food at? Like, we eating right here. You brought me something? Like, what? And he was like, I ain't bringing no food. She was like, we leaving, right? Okay, cool. Let's go. Where you want to eat at? He's like, no. I asked you a question. Do I know everything about you? She's like, yeah, you do. And he was like, well, who is Joey? And your 9-year-old son. Why didn't you tell me about that? So the episode ends with her kind of looking away like, got him. This is the dumbest storyline ever. I just want to go on ahead and just put it out there. Tyler, you need to find you a Issa Rae type. You need to find you somebody that can help you write these stories, because the stories are all jumbled up. They're all stupid and they don't make any sense. You need to make Gary and Andy break up. I'm sick and tired of that. That's the world's dumbest relationship. And you need to stop making all these women extremely, utterly stupid. We had a strong foundation with Zach and Fatima. You even made a whole show out of them. But on Sistas, you consistently and persistently want to make both of them look like idiots. Why? Why can't anybody have a happy ending on this story, on this show? Why does everybody's life have to be in constant turmoil and foolishness and bullshits? The bullshittery is just getting overwhelming. Solve some problems. Get Karen a belly bump. Let us find out that it's really Aaron's baby sooner than later. Let's not make Zach pay child support for 2 kids that are not his. Let's just do that. Okay, I'm really about sick and tired of this. I see Zach going to the salon, apologizing to Karen. I hope he don't go in there and do something totally and utterly stupid because he's mad that Fatima is out here doing God knows what and lying about it. Like, where's the sage? I need to go on the set and sage this whole show because it's got to be some foolery and toolery going in the midst. It's y'all, another disappointing week of Sistas. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody else that's watching this show too with us and feeling our pain, child. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when I come back on to do a new review. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.